Okay, what we're doing here today is replacing the spark plugs on a 4200 in a 2005 Trailblazer. We're going to do this over a 2-day period. First, we're going to take this cover off here. There are two 10mm bolts, and then there are two clamps here that we got to loosen up to take these air inducts off. And there is a hose down here that we got to remove, and this top cover will come off and expose our coils. Okay, next on the coil packs here, we'll unplug the wires here because we're going to pull the wire of the entire coil pack out. Take a small flat blade screwdriver, depress the center of the gray locking clip, and then you can go ahead and remove the wiring harness. You have to depress this centerpiece here very tightly and pull that off. We'll do that for all 6. Next, what we'll do is take a 10mm and remove this bolt that holds the coil on the plug, and just simply twist it a little bit, pull the entire unit out. The coil closest to the front of the car, you're going to have to use a 10mm wrench to get that bolt undone. So there's a wiring harness type ordeal here. You can unsnap it if we need to. I indeed had to take the cover off that wiring harness keeper there to get the last coil out. Next, I went and placed a piece of cellophane, a little plastic, over the throttle body, and make sure you wear some eye protection. We're going to take a air hose here and with compressed air blow off the top of the engine and then down in each one of the spark plug holes. Next, you want to look down into the spark plug hole itself and ensure that it's very clean. Next, what I'm going to do is take some PB Blaster and spray each of the spark plug holes and let that sit overnight. That'll make our job easier taking the spark plugs out the next day. And you do not want to do this on a warm engine, since the aluminum head here, the threads will come out with your spark plug, and you certainly don't want that. So the trick is to put some PB Blaster in there, let it sit overnight, and they come out very easy the next day. Okay, it's the next morning, and that PB Blaster sat overnight, and now what I'm going to do is take a 5/8 spark plug socket and a 6-inch locking extension and put it on there and just break loose the spark plug so it will let that little bit of oil seep down there, and they'll come out real easy. So I'm going to do that next and let it sit for like a half hour. best if you have one of these locking extensions here, because if you get that stuck in there, sometimes they're hard to get out. And this one is from the Hazard Fraud. They're pretty inexpensive. What we're going to be installing is Champion Platinum Power. This is the part number on it, and we're going to gap the spark plugs to 43 thousandths or 1.092 millimeters. Okay, wearing some eye protection. It's been sitting for a little while. I'm going to take an air hose here, place a rag over the top, put that air hose down there, and whatever PB blaster is left will spray up and catch in this rag. Okay, so I blew out that PB blaster there. Want to look down there and make sure it's really clean around there. Now I'll go ahead, I'm going to stuff a rag down there, any residuals on the side that'll come out. Okay, now that I got that cleaned out, I'll look down there once again, make sure everything's nice and clean. Then I'll go ahead and remove that spark plug. Okay, a little comparison here. This one's got 120,000 miles on it, and this is our brand new one. What I'm going to do is put just a dab of anti-seize right on this part here. That'll help if we have to take it out again. Okay, put her in the spark plug socket, and I will just thread it in by hand. Make sure it's going in straight, and then we will torque that. Okay, there is a warning on your cover here, and it says don't remove the spark plugs when hot, and it also gives you the torque spec at 13 foot-pounds or 18 Newton meters. If you don't have a torque wrench, you want to do it like a 1/16 of a turn after it seats. Okay, now that I got all 6 changed, I'm going to take our coil here, and on the very end, just going to put a small amount of dielectric grease on there. That'll help slide it on and then not stick to the spark plug. Okay, we'll drop that down there. Let that pop on. And we'll tighten this little bolt here to 8 foot-pounds. Okay, now we have that secured down there. We'll snap our electrical connection on there and take our locking tab and slip that through. On the very last one, I left it all connected. I just pulled the coil out as I couldn't get my hand in there very well. And we'll do that. When we're all done with that, we'll put the top back together. Okay, to get the very first coil in there, we're going to have to take a panel removing tool and then pop up that little wiring harness so we can get that one to fit down in there. We'll tighten that bolt up, and then we're all set to put the cover on. Okay, pop that up. Now I got that in there. Push that down, we're all set. Put the cover on there. It just simply snaps in on both sides with these tabs. Okay, so now we'll go ahead, slip our ductwork back together here. Slip it on the throttle body. And don't forget your breather hose here. Got these two 10mm bolts here, put them on there, and we'll take our 8mm and tighten up our ductwork.